everybody, Matt here. Hope you enjoyed the shooting at the beginning of the video. That was obviously this little baby here. You guys all know what it is. This is the Sig Sauer P228. I just picked up here about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago for my wife at the gun show. I will go over the details on what I experienced at the range with this thing, but needless to say, I was very pleased with it. So let's jump right into the review here. This is going to be a gun for pretty much anything you can think of. You can take it to the range, home defense, self-defense, even concealed carry if you have the means, you know, under a coat, something like that. I personally don't, just because of the length of the handle. So it's not something I would ever conceal carry. But if I had a coat or something on, I probably would. The specs on this, okay, you're going to be running right at about a little over 7 inches long, about 5.5 inches high. And this thing is right at about 1.5 inches wide. Obviously that's at the grip. Sig is notorious for having a wide gripped pistol, okay? Just like the Berettas, same thing. Thing weighs in right at about 26 ounces. So for what I would consider a full-size pistol that's not polymer, 26 ounces is pretty damn good. Now, some people do not consider this a full-size pistol. There are people who consider the 226 a full-size pistol, but they consider this a compact. I call bullshit on that. This may have a little bit shorter of a barrel, but it's still a full-size pistol. Okay. As far as caliber, this thing, the 228 only comes in 9mm. That is what. That is one of the things that separates it from the 229. The capacity on these is 13 plus 1 in the chamber. Now, obviously, this magazine is loaded. There is nothing in the chamber here, so we're good to go. I'm not going to show you because I know what I did with my own gun. See? What you're going to get is 2 mags. Now, these are used pistols. They do not manufacture them anymore. I'll go into more detail about the whole history of the P228. But, so all you're going to get is a used pistol. You're either going to get it like this in the red case from the Sig factory, a certified used pistol, or you're going to get it from a person, okay? Yeah, so it's going to be used. If you get it in the red case, you're going to have 2 magazines. It will come with a 1-year warranty. As far as everything else you're going to get on it, your trigger on this in double action, okay, is going to be right at about 12 pounds with a very clean break, okay? Now, at single action, you're going to be running 4.5 pounds, very little take up, very clean braking. One feature on this, if you're not familiar with SIGs, is it has a spring-loaded hammer, okay? Now, I don't know if you can see that when I pull the trigger here. I'll show you here. Yeah, you can't really see it, but basically, you can see here how the hammer moves, okay? It goes forward and hits the pin and then springs back. So it is not in constant contact with the pin, which I like. I don't know if it makes a difference, but I just kind of like it. I think it's cool. I think it's a good little feature. You know, also you got the magazine release, you got your takedown lever, you got your decocker here. All right, got your slide lock. It is a slide lock, not a slide release, at least according to SIG. That's what they call it. As far as recoil, there is almost no felt recoil in this gun. It is extremely smooth shooting. I cannot tell you how smooth shooting this gun was. As far as reliability, durability, that kind of thing, this is the first SIG I've ever owned, and in fact I should say this is the first SIG my wife's ever owned. So I can't speak to that from experience. I can only tell you about the reputation SIG has. SIG has an excellent reputation for reliability and durability. Certainly what I experienced this weekend shooting it gave me a lot of confidence in this pistol. It was extremely accurate. It was extremely reliable. There was absolutely no failures on this gun. Failure to feed, failure to eject, nothing. Hands down, it was a joy to shoot. I loved it. And it's a SIG. I mean, I'm sure most people think the same thing. I know there are always horror stories about guns out there, but overall, I think the SIG's got a very excellent reputation. As far as appearance goes, I mean, this thing's beautiful. In my opinion, the 1911 is probably the most beautiful pistol there is. You can see I still got oil in here from cleaning it last night. The 1911's probably the most beautiful pistol there is, but this is a definite first runner-up right here. This is just a beautiful looking pistol, and pretty much all SIGs are. They put a lot of work into their design, into their finish. They're awesome pistols. Okay, they look wonderful. All right, let's talk about a little bit about the 228. real quickly, the 228 was designed as a military pistol, mostly for use in the U.S. In the U.S., it has the designation the M11, compared to the Beretta, which is the M9, or the 1911, which is the M1911. So it has its own designations. If you hear anybody talk about the M11, that's what they're talking about. They're talking about the P228. I think there are still some agencies that use it. I want to say the CID, the OSI, and at least 2 other agencies. I can't think of them off the top of my head that use it still. They have not switched over to the 40 caliber and gone with the 229. They still keep the 9mm and the 228 because they like it. So the 229 obviously kind of took over for the 228 when it came out in 9mm, and that made a big difference, and so they stopped manufacturing these. That's why you can pretty much only get them, well, not pretty much, you can only get them used nowadays. You cannot get new P228s, they just don't manufacture them anymore. All they manufacture in 9mm for this size is the 229. Now the biggest differences are going to be, the biggest difference period between this and the 229 is going to be the slide. Okay, on the 229 the slide is forged steel. On this one it is a stamped steel slide. That is hands down the biggest difference. There are other differences too, like the fact that these come with plastic grips and not the Sig aluminum grips, or wood grips, or whatever you can get with the 229. But there are some other minor differences, but the slide being the main one. Like I said, these are only used now. Most of these you get, especially in the red box, are going to be, from what I understand, military trade-ins. There were organizations that traded these pistols in for the 229 in 40, and when they did so, all these pistols got basically refurbished, or at least checked for reliability, and then put into the red box and resold as certified used pistols. You get a 1-year warranty with them. I think I've already mentioned that, but overall a good deal. Now let's talk about price here real quick. What you can expect to pay for these is going to be between $500 and $600. Okay, I've heard of people paying less. You know, I've heard of people paying $400 for them. That's a stroke of luck in my opinion, because I think they're worth more than that. And I've heard people selling them for as much as $700. And at $700, I call bullshit and say, well, you can get a brand new 229 for that price. You know what I mean? So between $500 and $600, you're getting a good deal. Now I walked out with this thing for $550 out the door. I thought that was a great deal. I had looked around, been looking for SIGs for a while, because most of you guys out there know, because I've talked about it, my wife's been wanting a SIG for quite a while. So I've been doing a lot of research on them and looking around, and $550 out the door for this was a good deal for me. It was in, like I said, it's in very good shape for being a used pistol. If you can overlook all the oil smudge marks on it here. Very good pistol, very good condition, you know. Hardly a scratch on it. Obviously you can tell a little bit up here on the corners. I don't know if you can see it on the video. There is a little bit of wear here. It was probably holstered quite a bit. A little bit around the edges here at the front. But overall, very good shape, very dependable. I'm very satisfied with it, very happy with it. I got a good price. It's a great gun. I can easily recommend this pistol now, like I said. I don't know how many rounds it had through it before I got a hold of it, but I know it now has at least 250 rounds down the pipe, and I'm pretty sure it's got at least twice that much through it. So I'm guessing even if this pistol wasn't used for anything but target practice, it's got at least 500 rounds down the pipe now, and at least the last 250 have been flawless. So hands down, I can recommend it. So that's going to be it. Any questions, comments, anything like that you guys have about this thing, I'll do my best to answer them. Like I said, I'm still fairly new to SIG, so I don't have all the answers on everything, but I'll be more than happy to help you out. Appreciate you guys watching, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks.